And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today we are going to respond to Coffeezilla's video about Grant Cardone. He calls it Grant Cardone is officially a fake guru. And I want to have my take on it. And you'll notice what my take on it is during the video. So let's just get going.
Look, I'm so worried about you right now. The savings rate this month hit a low of 2.7%. This is an unbelievable and ridiculous warning sign that I told you about last week.
The person that has $236.
Invest it all in yourself. You're already broke. Don't hold on to $236. Our parents, they taught us to save money. You know?
Yeah,
This is
100%.
stupid. I want to bank cash, man. I need money. I need emergency funds.
A safety net is one of the first goals any investor should establish in fund. We recommend that everyone should save regularly towards some kind of safety net.
It just doesn't make any sense. Save your money. Prepare for a rainy day. It fucking don't rain here. I need to treat money like it's sacred.
Let's first start with the initial aspect of savings. Okay, if you are Grant Cardone, I've seen this full video, okay, so I know what's going to happen, etc., etc. But I just kind of want to give you guys my take on it because I've been around Grant Cardone in terms of seeing his channel for the last 3 years. I've seen enough in terms of who he is, the integrity that he has, and the way that he builds his businesses and his mindset, the way he thinks huge. I know that this guy is a good guy. So I look at it from that perspective from the outset. Just because of his mentality, his work ethic, and the way that he treats people in general. This is my personal experience from what I've seen, including the interview he had with Jordan Belfort. Having said that, when he's talking about the savings 8 years ago compared to other people saying that you should have a buffer of some sort, Grant Cardone says invest in yourself. If you're broke, like, let's say, for example, you need 6 months of a buffer in order for you to actually, get that 6 months rainy day savings, whatever, in the bank. Grant Cardone 8 years ago says you need to save money. You need to take care of the money as if it's sacred. But over time, he began to understand that in order for you to get rich, you cannot longer look at money as something sacred. You have to look at it as a tool, something that needs to be used, okay? Do you look at something that is sacred as something to be used? Well, you could, but I'm just saying in terms of investing in yourself, what I understand about that is if you have $1,000 in your account, and you're like, oh, I need 6 months of expenses, and my expenses are $3,000 a month, so I need $18,000 on my account. Those 6 months could have been spent very differently if you had invested in yourself. Just like he spoke about the older Grant. Okay? I remember writing my first book, 5 years ago. None of you guys have read it because what I wrote in that book was stupid. Okay, like that was me 5 years ago compared to today. If I wrote a book today, I'm a completely different person. I think completely different thoughts, and I like the newer me better than the old me. Okay, just like Grant Cardone would look at his old self 8 years ago and be like, I like the newer me better. The newer me understands what he's doing because he's got 8 more years experience compared to that guy who was kind of broke compared to the guy I am today. Does that make sense? So let's just Coffeezilla obviously makes fun of him in this video. All the comments in that video are absolutely, oh, I hate Grant Cardone, blah, 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 and they're making fun of him. I would be one of the very few that would defend this guy basically, forever. Unless he does something extremely ridiculously stupid like, cheating on his wife, whatever it is that happens, okay? But just in general, I think this is... I don't think I would, I know I wouldn't smoke, okay? That's for sure. But would I treat dollars like that? I understand that other people need dollars, so I probably wouldn't do exactly what he's doing there. But I don't think there's something necessarily wrong with it. He's just proving a point that money itself is paper. It's worth nothing. It's squat, okay? If you understand that the banks are literally printing money with one single stroke on their keyboard, money, poof, into existence. It's worthless, guys. If you understand that, this is when you begin to understand that I can have an endless amount of money. Especially dollars, because dollars are worthless. Now, are they worthless right now? Not obviously not, because there's going to be, in my opinion, a deflationary, period of time, perhaps the next few years, where there's going to be some sort of a financial crash, where there's going to be a shortage of dollars. Not an endless supply like a lot of people believe right now. There's going to be a shortage. So is it completely worthless? Obviously, you can use it as a medium of exchange for now, but in general, it is only based upon the trust that people have in the US government. If you haven't been paying attention, that trust is deteriorating very, very quickly. So is that dollar going to, have worth forever? No, it's not. So yeah, Grant Cardone smokes it. There you go.
The savings rate in this country was over 6.5% for 30 years. Now it's collapsed again. What are you doing?
I'll never forget. These guys paid $12,000 each to sit in that chair. 3 days I got to look at their ugly faces.
Look, man, you're spending money on junk when you don't need it. Look at my little things, man. I know guys walking around with $500 and $600 headphones, and I got my little freebies that came with my phone. Why? What's the difference?
Okay, so on that one, personally, I like the newer Grant Cardone, even on the headphones and even on the junk aspect. Why? Well, you could have those many things, blah, 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 and maybe that's important for you in the beginning. And I'm going to make a video in the future about spending, by the way. Maybe this should be the video about spending, so you guys get an overview over my thoughts about it. But in general, when he was a little bit more poor, he needed to actually take care of his money and make sure that he didn't spend it much. But as a result, karma worked not in his favor that much, because he was protecting it so much that he wasn't investing in himself enough. However, do you have to have fancy stuff when you're poor? Obviously not, and I wouldn't recommend anyone to do that either. Don't buy stupid stuff that's going to improve your life a little bit when you need to improve your life a lot, if that makes sense. Like, you need to have money for investments, for investing in yourself. And if you're investing in stupid stuff like, for example, better headphones or a better phone, that's slowing you down compared to if you can invest in anything. Now, move forward to the new Grant Cardone. He can invest in anything he wants, okay? Which means, why would he hold on to the stupid small headphones when he could get the best on the market? Why do you want to get rich? Because you want the best of everything. You want abundance. So I think it's awesome when rich people are spending a lot of money to have the lifestyle that they desire. There's no shame in that. None so ever. However, it is also important to understand that other people are suffering, but you're becoming rich, and that naturally is putting money in other people's pockets. Putting money in other people's pockets creates more money in other people's pockets, and that creates money in other people's pockets. When you become rich and you create something of value, everyone around you benefits automatically, although you can't see it. The only people that actually reverse that process are politicians, because they don't create anything of value, not so ever. Okay, but entrepreneurs and business owners, they actually do. So let's keep going. Was there anything else that I want to say on that point? Yeah, not for now. But if you have any questions, comment down below, or thoughts.
So this is a 13-passenger Gulfstream. It retails for about $61 million.
Look how happy his daughter is. She gets to fly a jet plane together with her dad, her family. They don't have to sit next to, sick other people on the airplane, and they can basically jump on an airplane whenever they want. If their dad's, wants to go with them somewhere, whatever. What a life. I think that's flippin' awesome. Like, literally, I want to have that in the future. So when I look at this, I don't be like, oh my God, she spent $61 million on an airplane. If you understand riches, you'll understand that actually that was a massive tax deduction that he actually had on his wealth. Okay? When you buy an asset, and for him, you can look at it as a liability because it costs a lot of money, but there's so many tax deductions on that purchase that he probably, it probably cost him 30 million or maybe 25 million instead of 61 million. Just because of the tax deductions that he receives as a natural result of buying that airplane for himself. So he gets it a lot more cheaper than you think. And guess what? He can sell it again once he's done with it, if he wants to. Or he can keep it. This is how the rich people think. Okay, they've got the money. Why not use it? And he's already said in multiple videos where he says that I've made that money back multiple times over because I fly clients. He flies clients. He makes deals with them on the airplanes. And he does business and he can fly out anywhere at any time. If someone says, I need you to be here tomorrow at this specific time, he doesn't need to book his airplane or with the public transportation type of stuff. He can fly out when he wants to, however he wants to, and he can be alone on his airplane and think in preparation for that meeting. How much value do you think there is in that? A lot. Way more than $30 million, I can promise you that, when you're a billionaire. So me personally, yeah, I want an airplane. And you should want one too, okay? If you don't want one, you're thinking too small. So, to basically say that he's a fake guru because he thought differently 8 years ago compared to today is bullcrap, okay? No offense, Coffeezilla, but what you're teaching the public is mediocrity. Literally, you're teaching them to not level up. You're teaching them that, be average and let's make fun of the rich people who are an example to us and who actually say that we can achieve whatever we want in our lives. And then Coffeezilla comes in and says, no, you suck. You need to be average. You need to be normal. And if you're not normal, you're fake. Doesn't make any sense. Keep going.
Truth is, most people don't like money. I know they don't like money. You know how I know they don't like money? Because as soon as you get some, you get rid of it. You buy shit with it.
I mean, it's crazy. When you start putting stuff on a jet, it's bizarre. Like this door was not in here. This door right here, believe it or not, cost $850,000 to put in.
Real quick on that aspect, because you gotta understand money, right? 8 years ago, he didn't understand money very much, so he hadn't made a lot yet, okay? What did he not understand about money back then? Well, basically, you get money, you get rid of it. You should be keeping it, right? Is that how rich people think? No. Okay, that's how the poor middle class think, that you need to keep money. Because if you keep it, then you can increase it over time and get richer. Okay, if you know that the inflation rate right now in America, guess what? 25% of all American dollars, was printed last year. If you know that and you keep it in your nice savings account with less than 1% interest rate, you've basically lost 1/4 of the value of that dollar keeping it in the bank. That wasn't very smart, right? Rich people know this. So they actually want to get rid of money as fast as possible. They want to invest it because the more they hold money, the faster it melts. It disappears. It dissipates. It's not dollar. Like the $1 you receive today is no longer $1 tomorrow. It depreciates day after day after day after day if you don't buy something with it. Right? Now, in these interesting times where there might be a financial collapse happening, Evergrande, and all the stuff that's happening in China and whatever, and, stocks and Bitcoin's kind of going down a little bit. You never know what happens in the next 6 months, no financial advice, but it might be a little bit wise if you are poor and middle class to kind of hold on to some of it, right? But in general, as a principle, understand that the government is printing it like nobody's business and is devalued every single flipping day. Rich people understand this, and rich people understand that it's actually worthless crap, so I'd rather buy something of value with it that I can sell later at a later time for, guess what? Dollars. And they, you get what I'm saying? Anyway, for other people that, yeah. I agree with Grant Cardone. The new Grant Cardone is awesome.
America is back to the savings rate that it was at back when we had this problem in 2008. When people were buying Porsches and cars and country clubs. Dude, it was out of hand.
10 years ago, all they used in these planes was really dark, heavy wood. Probably cost $1 million to replace the wood.
You know, my father told me when I was 6 years old, he said, watch the pennies, the dollars will take care of themselves.
Do you think his dad was poor, middle class, or rich? He was poor, actually. And he passed away when Grant Cardone was quite young. And guess what? To keep the traditional thinking of your parents when it comes to money, if they're poor or middle class, will keep you poor and middle class. Don't ever listen to your parents when it comes to money, okay? It took him a long time to figure that out. But good on you, Grant Cardone. You figured out that you should never, ever listen to your parents when it comes to money. Just look at their situation. Are they freaking stinking rich? Are they billionaires? You should listen to them about money. Are they multi-millionaires with their own massive, huge businesses that are just keep growing and growing and growing? Maybe you should listen to them about money. But if they're stuck, if they're plateauing, like even if they have a business but they're plateaued and they're not going anywhere with their business, or they have a job, do not listen to them about money. It's going to keep you back for years, just like it did to Grant Cardone. But then he switched his mindset. Suddenly he discovered that, oh, you know what? This penny pinching that I was doing 8 years ago was holding me back. Never again. Let me invest in myself. And then he began investing in himself. He had, in one video that I have on my Instagram of him doing an interview, he said that he once invested in a course that cost $120,000. $120,000 for a course. And then the guy who's interviewing him was like, whoa, that's crazy. Was that a real estate course or something? And then Greg was like, no, it was a course about me, to learn something about me and my own limitations. And then he said, in 2 weeks, I had made $1.2 million. Like, he 10x'd his money in 2 weeks from understanding something, unlocking something in his brain, which is the most powerful tool you have, by the way, that you need to invest in. Was it worth it to do that course for $120,000? Yes, it was. Do you see, if he was penny pinching during that time, oh, penny pinching, I can't spend $120,000, that's too expensive. He would have never seen the $1.2 million. Do you get the drift? The new Grant Cardone is way better than the old Grant Cardone in so many planks and so many different levels that it's crazy. And people in Coffeezilla's comments are like, I like the old Grant Cardone. You know why you like him? Because he's at your playing field. He's a different level now. That's the kind of guy I want to spend time with. Someone who thinks huge, someone who thinks better, bigger, and someone that can take me to the next level. If he's at my level and I agree with him and yeah, it's really nice, you know, like as a poor middle class guy, I look at myself as a billionaire. Obviously, I'm not a billionaire yet, but I look at myself as a billionaire already because I want to think those thoughts. When I align my thoughts with being a billionaire, it's going to come naturally. It's like the universe. Me believing that I'm a billionaire already causes me to act in a different way than if I didn't believe that. And if I act as if I am a billionaire, and not like as an a-hole, whatever, but more as just the mindset, the confidence level that I'm gonna get there, it's not a big deal. I could have it now. And I act like my actions and behaviors are based upon me being a billionaire already, but, you know, spending wisely according to if I wasn't a billionaire. But the universe understands that if I think like a billionaire, they're like, oh, he's basically telling us that he needs to be a billionaire. Okay, so let's give him the opportunities for that to happen. And suddenly the universe gives you exactly what you want as long as you take action on it and put in the work ethic to prove to the universe that you actually were serious about it. So, in general, man, I love the new Grant Cardone.
He said, watch the pennies, The dollars will take care of themselves.
Okay, help me out here. A penny saved is? A penny is a penny. Okay, your mama got real complicated here. A penny.
Seriously, I literally had that on one of my savings things, whatever. It was like a little teddy bear with an umbrella on it, and it said a penny earned is a penny saved, or penny saved for whatever. Exactly, it's complicated, man. I was like trying to think about it. I was like, what does that even mean? Because it doesn't make any sense. And he's basically saying it right here. It doesn't make any sense. What you need to understand, you need to invest in yourself. That's what you need to do. You need to hire a coach ASAP so that your brain can change about how you think about finances ASAP. Unless you actually change the way you think about money, money is never going to come to you in massive droves. You're always going to struggle with getting money. And if you do have money, it's going to be a little bit, but you still won't have the financial freedom and the lifestyle that you deserve. Everyone deserves an amazing lifestyle according to their potential. They don't deserve it according to their work ethic and, what they've put in terms of getting it, but they deserve it in terms of their potential. So in that sense, all 8 billion people on planet Earth deserve to be rich, but they haven't figured out their full potential yet, and they're not working towards their full potential yet, and so they don't deserve it, really. Do you get what I'm saying?
Is a penny, and if you spend time with them, you'll end up with nothing.
When you watch pennies and nickels and dimes and quarters, when you watch that, you're going to pay attention to the bigger flows. People that are not disciplined with money don't end up with money. People that waste money on dumb things don't end up with money. There's something universal about money. Waste it, somebody else gets it. So
is there some truth to what he's saying? And let's go to the other side now, okay? Because I do understand the people that are on the other side. And what is that other side? It's the aspect of spending. Should you be spending? I see my clients, I see a lot of other guys wasting their money. But what is wasting money? You have to understand this. Wasting money is if you have nothing and you're not investing it in things that will produce more income. You're investing it in things that do not produce income whatsoever, but that keeps your life comfortable. If you keep your life comfortable, that's feminine spending. If you focus on pleasure too early, you're rewarding yourself too early, it's feminine thinking. It's instant gratification. So if you're not rich yet, you shouldn't be wasting your money on that, because that means that you will not have the money to invest in yourself and to invest in things that produces money, to produces more. Do you get what I'm saying? A rich person is obviously in a different situation. He literally has money. He has too much money. That's the problem. Like Robert Kiyosaki says, that's another problem, but it's a better problem. If you have too much money, that's a problem. And I need to get rid of it as fast as possible so that the tax authorities don't come after me to take more than I want to give them. You get what I'm saying? Legally. So rich people try to get rid of it. But how do they get rid of it? They get rid of it by investing all of that money, preferably as much as possible, into new income producing assets, things that produce more income. And then they waste their money on stupid stuff. And then they put that very often on their company bill because it's a business expense, of course, very often. And as a result, they get a tax deduction and they get stuff cheaper as a result. But they also get the lifestyle that they want. Do you get what I'm saying? So there's a time in your future where you get to have the dumb stuff, right? The Ferrari, the Lamborghini, the fancy mansion that you maybe don't really need. I mean, do you really need 13 bedrooms? When you have a wife and, or 3 women and 3 or 4 kids or 6 kids or whatever. No, you don't need 13 bedrooms. But why not? Let's blend a little so that we can have family over and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. Because you have the money to do it, so why not? Do you get what I'm saying? Compared to a poor middle class guy that most of you guys are in the position in right now, why spend your money unnecessarily on stupid stuff that doesn't produce more income? For me, that makes perfect sense. But at the same time, if you're penny pinching on the investments that produce income, you're not going to progress. You're not going to move forward. And if you move forward, it's going to be at a very slow pace compared to the other ones that are willing to invest in themselves. Do you get what I'm saying? So let's hear this last clip. 20 seconds.
If you're down to your last $1,000, this offer today is $9.97. GrantCardone.com/shark. Okay?
Yeah.
You're down. A guy's sitting there right now watching this, and I got my last grand, dude, and I got Christmas coming. Should he spend it on this?
Absolutely.
I would tell you the same thing.
Look, I'm so worried.
I'll tell you the same thing, okay? Just want to help you guys to understand what he was saying there. Last $1,000. It's Christmas. You've got kids. You got a wife. And there comes the special offer, $1,000. In order to change your thinking about money. Should you spend it? And according to these guys, they believe in their product so much that they can help guys get to the next level of thinking, of expanding their brains. And they say that they should spend that $1,000. Do I agree? Yes, 80%. I agree 80%. Why? Well, Christmas happens every flippin' year, okay? It's not whoop-de-doo-dah. Okay, great. You want to create something for your kids? You can make some small little stuff for your kids, okay? I have 3 kids, okay? So I understand how this stuff works. However, would I spend it on a weekend seminar ticket like this? And you know, what they're doing there with the book and the package, whatever, in my opinion, I wouldn't do that one. I believe my product, okay, is better than this product. That's how much I believe in my product. What are they offering? You get to go to a conference. Oh, you get special information, which is great, which is going to take you to a next level of thinking for sure. And you're going to get a book that you can read through, and then you can have a questionnaire at the end and figure out a little bit more about yourself so that you can prepare yourself and get you ready for the grind in order for you to make more money. Okay, that's going to take you a little bit longer time to get a return on investment on. But investing in my program, what's my program? Is you being coached directly by me on a freaking daily basis. The accountability that you get, the work ethic that I expect you to have. I expect you to have 80-hour work week from the outset. From the very beginning of our coaching, I'm like, do you have 3 jobs? And, you know, maybe you have a business or something, so we kind of tailor it around your specific, setting and problem and environment, whatever. But the 80 hours a week is not negotiable, right? And most of you guys aren't doing that. And to have someone who holds you accountable on a daily basis to texting you every single day, how are we doing? And moving towards achieving your goals, that is way more valuable than $1,000 buying a Growth Con ticket and book. Although I love Grant Cardone, he's absolutely amazing. Having someone who knows what he's talking about on your back every single day to progress in your life and to clarify the goals and get you in the right mindset, who can talk to you and actually help you understand yourself and what you're struggling with and personally tailor your journey so that you can fix your situation immediately and never ever have money problems ever again, I would do that. I'd invest in me rather than that Christmas. You get what I'm saying? That would be investing in yourself, in my opinion, because within the guys, for example, if you're unemployed, you have $1,000 left. Should you invest it in me? Yes. Why? Because I would help you to get 3 jobs within 3 days. Or 1 day, for crying out loud. My strategies work. So I understand what they're saying here, and I hope you guys understand what I'm saying too. But in general, invest in yourself. Grant Cardone is flippin' amazing. He has the right mindset. He thinks huge. And if you haven't read his book, 10X, man, you're missing out. I listened to that book 10 times, those 5 months when my wife was in America, and I audiobook, and I had that on all the time. Every single morning when I went for a run, I was just like, 10X, 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 10X. And I was just fired up outside my brain. He speaks that audiobook into life, okay? Like, it's his voice on that Audible. And it's flippin' awesome. I love that book. It changed my life, okay? So if you understand how that works, you'll actually begin to appreciate Grant Cardone, who he is, and what he's contributing to the world. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.